Welcome, Radical Ones, to the Radical Retro Rewind Halloween Special Spooktacular.
Oh, our theme song. Dun, 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 dun. It's the Halloween special. It's the Halloween special. Geof and Ryan, it's a Halloween special. We're going to talk about stuff. It's going to not be tough. Y'all heard?
For that,
I don't know.
I love that.
Wait,
is our own. That is our own Halloween theme song, and that is Geof from the Gcap Recap. Woo-hoo. He's
Hello,
joining
all you
me
radical
myself.
ones and recappers. Thank you for joining our Halloween special. I'm so excited. I love Halloween. And yeah, we didn't plan that. I just kind of started singing. Ryan didn't know we had a theme song. Neither did I. We just kind of started singing. And I did this too. I gave you some special effects. So it's like,
That was ultra. That was the best special effects. It felt like it was almost happening to me in real life. F is here today to speak on a certain movie that he turned me on to. Matter of fact, we just watched it together. Would you like to introduce this little old film for the people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know, Ryan and I have been doing cool stuff. And, you know, I feel like he does a lot of live streams on my channel. And I wanted him to see Hard Rock Zombies, which I'm so glad you endured that. And because I truly love it. And I figure, yeah, why don't we just do a co-joined Halloween special? And we'll just talk about Hard Rock Zombies here. So, you know, it's an 80s, you know, horror movie that's around rock and roll heavy metal, which I love that subgenre to death. So, we watched it the other night, and then we're like, hey, let's just shoot this. It'll be our Halloween special.
So you got zombies, you got hard rock, and you got the year. What year is it?
Hard Rock Zombies, 1985.
1985. Can you beat a better year than that? I'll wait. I am a little partial. I was telling Geof I'm a little partial to 1985, but you know what? It gave us this classic movie. And can I say it's a classic? I feel like this has a cult following. It must, right?
It does. It does. I don't know why. I feel like whenever something's released, like the DVD or some other things, I guess we can talk after the review portion of this, but things are released and then all of a sudden they're sold out immediately. So somebody likes this. I just don't think a lot of people are speaking up about it. You know me though. You know I'm the real deal. I call it as I see it. This is not a great movie, Ryan, but it is a great movie.
That is right. I was entertained. The full time.
How could you not be entertained?
It could have been the mixture of you and us watching it and the comments, but I gotta say, besides my friend Geof here, it was funny and it was cute. It was what it is. It is hard rock zombies. It is.
It's there's so much. I mean, I figure at least we
You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I am.
Okay. Let me know if you.
I don't know. I don't feel very well.
Did something happen?
I'm trying to try to get through this with you though.
Oh my god! I hope you're feeling okay. Maybe talking about the movie will cheer you up a little.
Hopefully.
Seems like something's heavily on your mind.
I don't know. Well, we have an Indian summer right now, right?
Yeah.
And I was just out this morning at the pool, and I was trying to clean it with some algae. You know, there's some algae on the walls, and I was scrubbing it. And you know that I have barracuda in my pool. I think anyone that's watched the Gcap Recap should know that there are live barracuda in my pool.
They're there. I mean, I will link it. I want to say, I'm going to press it up here. If anyone wants to check out this review, and this is a real deal.
Yeah, there's the first underwater
Geof has barracudas
review.
in his pool.
Yeah, it's the first underwater movie review in history. The Gcap Recap, but you gotta watch those little guys. They're a little sneaky. Well, one came over and actually got my finger real bad, man. It's been
You
sore
got
and
bit?
crusty, and look at that. It doesn't look. I mean, the lights on it making it look a lot better, but it is red, and I don't know. I've been feeling kind of weird ever since that happened. But I digress, man. I'm sorry. Let's just.
You gotta definitely keep an eye on that, Jeff. That's
It's a little warm. I'm all right. It's not COVID. I don't think it's COVID.
You know what? We'll continue the review as long as you feel up to it. So
that's right. We're not putting anything bad in the universe. We're gonna get through this.
That's right. Although, my God, I got something to say to those barracudas.
Oh, I'm gonna send Cooper in there to eat them. So, because Cooper can swim now on his own, so they better watch out. But yeah, they blindsided me and got me. But anyway, well, we're here to talk about Hard Rock Zombies.
Yes. See, I'm gonna rely heavily on Geof here because this movie is one of his movies, so he's got these scenes up here. But there are a lot of things that I remember that I can't wait to get into. But to start this movie off, Geof.
Yeah.
It starts, what would you say, on the side of the road, basically.
Yeah, we have a nice point of view shot that goes through the tunnel, which I think is very cool. And Hard Rock Zombies come up, and you hear the soundtrack, right? The soundtrack music, the opening theme. And that gets me I told you, that gets me turned when that song kicks in. Yeah, I get very excited. So there's two guys that are totally 80s dudes with the long hair. They're driving the convertible down this abandoned road. Nice little I guess probably a little bit of a mountainous California road. I do think it was hilarious that you thought one of the guys was a female. That was pretty awesome.
100%. I thought that was a woman in the passenger side of this car in the beginning.
They're rocking out the theme songs, jamming, rocking. All of a sudden, there's a very beautiful. Would nubile be a nice word to say?
I think that probably fits.
It's very nubile, very nubile. On the road hitchhiking, beautiful blonde woman hitchhiking. And of course, the guys can't help themselves. They pull over, they go to pick her up. Next thing you know, they're skinny dipping. Well, one of them, she's skinny dipping with one of them. And all of a sudden, we're treated to some guy in a suit from the woods taking pictures.
Which I was kind of well, what's going on here? I really... no clue where this movie was going. And I feel like even at this point, you're kind of even more confused. Okay, there's a guy taking pictures. He must know this woman, but how?
Right. So he sees her taking it. Yeah, you're wondering what's going on. So the pictures are being taken. And, she's making out with the guy. Then all of a sudden she does that thing where, you grab on someone's shoulders and you push them up. Like Baby. And
a reverse Baby.
Yeah, reverse Baby, but instead of pushing her up, she goes up, but then she pushes him down. And she's laughing and she's holding him underwater.
But when she does that, Geof, how does the blood come out of it? I wonder. I wonder what's going on under the water. What's because there's a pool of blood I think comes out.
Yeah, as if she's being attacked. He's being attacked by a shark, but she's drowning him. But this is Hard Rock Zombies. So yeah,
in this world, this makes sense. Matter of fact, the gentleman next to him, who also was with them, kind of didn't even notice this was happening.
No, he gets into the lake, but he gets in backwards. Because when you go swimming, don't you just usually get in backwards?
You know what? That's how you got to tackle most things, ass backwards.
Well, anyway, he's coming in and she bumps into him and he's like, oh, he's surprised anyone's there.
Oh, there's somebody else. Oh.
Doesn't look for the other dude. I don't know if they thought they were going to menage a trois or what, but all of a sudden she does the same thing. She jumps up, she pushes him under, and there's blood again. Because remember, I told you, this is a weird movie, so there's questions you're going to be like, Geof, why isn't that? And I'm just going to say yes. Because
trust the process. Trust the process.
It's Hard Rock Zombies, and there is no logic. There's no logic. It was left at the. Anything goes in this movie.
Just wait.
So she drowns him, and they pull him out, and she pulls him out of the water. There's body bags. We now see that the gentleman in the suit taking pictures is in cahoots with this young woman. And in another Hard Rock Zombie moment, there are two little people with them. One is the very famous Phil Fondacaro from Ghoulies 2 and like every movie. Fine actor. I was shocked the first time I saw this to see him in there. My jaw dropped. I was like, it's Phil. So,
what are you doing here?
Yeah. I'm like, oh man, like cool. So he's in it. And then the other little person is already looks like a zombie or some kind of mutant demon troll.
And it's never.
And they're in suits. They're all in suits too, like the gentleman. So they're all together.
And it's never addressed why he looks like that. It's kind of just normal. There's a lot of things that are in this movie. It's just part of the plot, and that's it. It just is. You
just got to go with it. You just got to go with it, like, and just go with just go with it and accept it and be like, all right, that's what's happening. So yeah, the little guy's like his little monster thing. Then they hold up one of the guy's hands, and she's like the murderess, I guess we should call her, cuts the hand off, swipes it right off at the wrist, and then she holds it to her face and she sings, I wanna hold your hand. So you're like, ho 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 ho, right? That's one of those, oh ho ho, I get what you did there, like, yeah. And then, without even a second's notice, we meet our crew. We meet the band Holy Moses.
What a great name as well.
Yeah, you love that. Holy Moses, right? Great. Holy Moses is it's a quartet.
Yes.
Quartet. And they're playing at a local gig at some bar, and people are going, I mean, they are very over. Would you not say?
Extremely.
I mean, people are marking out for them. Yeah. They are. People are screaming and freaking out, and they're singing Shake It Up, Baby, which I absolutely love this song too. This is on my Spotify playlist as well. So it gets you going. It gets you to like the guys, right? It's like, these guys are happening, right? These are happening dudes.
More happening than I shall ever be.
I can never be that happening. I wish. I can only dream one day I'll be that happening, but absolutely not as happening in the
mean, you got barracudas in your pool. I think that's pretty rad.
Yeah, but these guys get a whole locker room full of 20 scantily clad females.
Yeah, and they were just waiting for them behind the...
Yeah, that they're just waiting for them in their dressing room, which kind of looks like a garage, downstage, something weird. And I had to help Brian too with some of this stuff because the version that we watched, the audio and some of the video quality are pretty bad in general. But because it's low budget, but over time it makes it's almost inaudible, some of these things. So
especially when they're playing that's seen the most, I would say, Geof. Mm-hmm. It's when there are older gentlemen at the bar that are talking about the band not enjoying their rock and roll music. You know, they don't want that in their town. Mm-hmm. What it will cause.
Yeah, there's four important characters there at the bar. Yes,
that's no word. I think, the music was playing, yes, but like Geof is saying, because of the audio and like probably a VHS rip to DVD to rip to YouTube. So, yeah.
It was inaudible, but the four guys are basically saying, I can't believe people like this music. It sucks. These guys think they're going to play at their town. And in our town, they got another thing coming. So you could tell these guys are not fans of Holy Moses. And we go to the backstage area where we are now introduced to each of them. And the lead singer is Jesse. Very, very long hair. I'm just trying to say a word. Like, he totally looks like a rocker.
Yes.
As you do know he's a real musician. Like, he's a real rocker. He's not an actor. And he fits the part perfectly. 100%. He's in his tighty whities. So the banana hammock is certainly rocking.
Right? They're all they all strip down to this. Like,
they just stripped to the tighty whities.
Yeah, it's their thing. That's how they unwind after a show. They go to their dressing room / basement.
Yeah, like they didn't hit the showers. They just took off their clothes. So then we're introduced to another important character. It's their manager, Ron. And through some dialogue, we learned that this was like a tune-up gig.
Yes.
Because they're going to have that weekend, or in a few days later, they're going to be going to another town, and they're going to be playing there. And some really, like, you know, because they're doing like a small town tour. They're a small town band. But somehow Ron's able to get one of the biggest producers in Hollywood, if not the biggest music producer from Hollywood, from California, to come out and listen to them to try to get them a record deal. So this is like their life goal. This is they're very passionate about this. This is important.
Yes.
They're very passionate about this. They're very excited. They're in there signing girls' butts and boobs and all that stuff.
All those rock star things you do, yes. You know.
Yes. You could tell the guys are, three of the four guys are, you know, like party maniacs, and they're all about the scene. But the lead singer, Jesse, he's just kind of doing it to be nice to fans, but he doesn't want to, he's looking for something deeper.
He's got heart.
Yes. So I don't know why he leaves the dressing room in his banana hammock, his tighty whities, but he sees a girl who looks like she's maybe 15, and somehow this girl gets into this bar, and she instantly he falls for her. Like, he's very into her. You know, even she's got like Pete Sampras eyebrows going, like. She had like those CM Punk brows, man. I mean, she got some thick brows.
She is all brows and hair. Geof.
Lots of hair.
This is Cassie.
Cassie. So Cassie, she doesn't really have a name yet, but I'll call her Cassie, so I don't have to keep calling her the little girl, because it sounds kind of weird.
But you know what?
Ryan.
How am
I going to keep referring to her? She reveals her name later.
Brows.
Yeah. She's a child, and she at least appears to be a child, and he's very taken by her, and it's kind of like one of these moments where you're like,
and he's taken with her, but correct me if I'm wrong, Geof, there's like nothing going on with her. She seems like she's always in distress.
Yeah, she looks like she's got a problem. Yeah, like something.
Like she's just mad at the world, and the world has been terrible to her, and everything she looks at is kind of like horrifying. I would say horrifying, but she's yet taken.
Yeah, wow, man, that was beautiful. Maybe that's what they have on the description of on the script. Cassie. She looks like she's taken. Yeah. So they okay. So they meet. I mean, so you know they're interacting, and she basically warns them, "Do not go to this town and play this." She warns them, "Don't go." Why? What's wrong? You're not gonna play. And she's not mean, though. You can tell she's coming from a good place for them. Like, she's trying to warn them to be nice. She's like, please don't come. What's wrong? What's your name, little girl? Please don't come. And she leaves. Well, he's distressed because he loves this. I mean, he falls instantly for this.
Literally an instant attraction.
And he keeps calling her little girl. It's very uncomfortable. But it's Jesse, though. He's a good guy. There must be something deeper here, right? Must be.
Yes. So far, he's been a gentleman to her.
He's a total gentleman. He left the sleaze of the locker room, all the skanks there. So he's obviously he's coming from a good place somehow, somewhere. And I guess this is a very important part, right? So they're on the road, and the man Ron's driving, and they're all in the back screwing around, and Jesse has his bass out, and he says, "Hey, guys, I found a riff in some old book." And it's supposed to have like special powers of like, you know, bringing things back from the dead or resurrection. And he's playing it. It's like like he's riffing on it.
Setup, actually.
Yeah,
which I didn't catch until you had told me what happened.
Because the audio is so bad on that thing, you know. And I'm like, it's, you know, but there's a mosquito that keeps biting Ron, and Ron smacks it. And then he plays his little bass thing again, and all of a sudden the mosquito comes back to life. Well, this happens like 3 or 4 times. And then one of the band members, Bobby, states that, hey man, maybe that thing in the book that you're playing does work. but he's joking though. He thinks it's just a coincidence, and that Ron hasn't killed the mosquito.
Little does he know.
Oh, there's our Chekhov's gun.
Yes, it is.
They call it in the business the Chekhov's gun. So then all of a sudden, our boys find the murderess, the blonde hot murderess from earlier
Also
on the road.
hitchhiking again. So this seems to be her thing. This is
Yep.
how she gets the men. This is how she gets the victims.
This is definitely her thing. She gets picked up because Bobby's freaking out about her. He's screaming and yelling. He's all crazed. She gets on board. Jesse asks her. He goes, you're from this town. How's this town? Oh, we're just a little town. And Jesse asks her, we were warned about coming to play at the show. Oh, playing our show there. And she's like, no, it's a strange little girl, strange little town. You'll be fine. But I want you to stay at our house, my family's house. And they pull right in there. Like, she just brings 4 strangers home, strange men home with her.
And
5 if you include Ron. Yeah, 5. They pull in.
And what did they say? One of them just said it's going to be cheaper than staying at a hotel, I assume, or something like that. But no question. Like, yeah, I mean, it was a different time. It's 1980s, but still. Who is this woman?
Yeah. And this house is it's like almost like a castle-esque. It's very kind of weird, kind of creepy. But Ryan, that's right. She's even the one that sells Ron, because Ron's like, wait, what? Because he's the brains of the group, right? And they're like, whoa, she's like, it's cheaper than staying at a hotel. And he's like, all right, I get, whatever. So,
I'm convinced then.
Yeah. Twist my arm. So they go and stay there. And then we get to meet her family.
The family, yeah, it's crazy.
They're all like weird characters too, right? So there looks like there's a patriarch of the family. I joked with you. It looks like the guy that plays Scotty from Star Trek. Right.
And before I could see who it was on our copy, I'm like, wait, did Scotty really do this movie? It wasn't, but
it
totally could have pulled him off from he's in the dark, because the first time we see him is laying in a bed, or no?
He's outside in some kind of like chair. Like, I don't know if it's a wheelchair.
Yes. Oh, yes. Not to be okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's in some chair that's outside, and he's like, welcome, my friends. And he sounds kind of weird, has a kind of a bit of a weird accent, but yeah. So we meet, and then there's the there's the patriarch of the family. There's our murderess who brought them. There's the guy that takes the pictures. There's the 2 little people, and there is some bald-headed, weird-looking dude in the suit that's like the groundskeeper, I guess. But he looks like he's up to no good. He doesn't talk.
Definitely a henchman quality.
Yes, that's great, Ryan. Perfect. A henchman-esque quality to be true. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, we just cut to a werewolf. Howling. And
I have to say, this is the scene that I was shocked about, because it was literally out of nowhere. It just kind of like they're pulled up and they're talking, and then it just goes to this like this like dark face. I thought it was possibly an ape.
Yeah.
Tied down to a chair, a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And it just out of nowhere, it's just like, and then what was the line that the
band's hearing this howling and growling, and they're like, whoa, what is that? Like, it's like a wild animal. And the murderess is like, oh, don't worry, that's just my mother doing her primal scream therapy. Mother, we have guests. And then it stops.
I don't want to be impolite, but what's that screaming?
It's just my mother's primal scream therapy. Quiet, Mama! Guests! You see, we're very accommodating to our guests.
See, that's the thing you can do with these kinds of movies, Geof, that you can't do in maybe a more serious horror movie. Mm-hmm. You could say a line like that, and she delivers it so deadpan, like it is nothing. Yep. It's not a joke. It's nothing. It's just like, that's her primal scream therapy.
Totally. Yeah, she totally deadpans it. And then we meet this woman in a wheelchair comes out that was pretty much looked just like the same outfit that
That's
the
when I kind of
werewolf
was
was
like,
just wearing.
okay. I'm like, okay.
She comes out. She's an older woman. She is the matriarch, I guess, of the family. And she comes out and meets the boys and whatever. So make yourselves at home, blah, 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 whatever. Well, all of a sudden, we go back to our murderess's room, and there's a whole bunch of these jars with hands in it. And she takes one of the hands. I guess it just goes to show you that she's been doing this for a long time, because there's hands in jars everywhere of like liquid formaldehyde.
Quite a collection. Is she supposed to be the daughter of these two, the matriarchs of the family? Do you get that idea, or is she just like a band of misfits?
It's never stated. It's never stated, because they'll there's a scene of a guy looks like Scotty, the patriarch of the family, is banging the woman in the wheelchair. And
which is not like you're thinking like it's gonna be a grandma in a wheelchair. It wasn't though. Yeah. They kind of dressed this woman as an older lady though.
Yeah, very attractive younger lady. They just dressed up like they just gave her an old wig. Like, oh, it's an old lady.
Okay, the wig. I gotta say, it was a wig. It was like fluorescent. Like it was shiny. It was the shiniest wig. You could tell she wasn't an old woman, but
yeah, you could tell it was not old at all. They're just like, oh, she has gray hair. She's an old lady.
Put her in that damn wheelchair, damn it.
And he's talking about banging her more than once a day because he has all these vitamins he's taking. And then the little people come in and beg them to watch them have sex. And he calls them children, grandchildren. So I think it's their grandchildren.
And he's like, you can't touch though, right? Or something like that.
He's like, you can look, but you can't touch.
Cause you can look, but you can't touch.
And he goes back to plowing her again while they're
watching. They're really delighted by this.
Yeah, it's like it's a very exciting time for everyone in that scene.
It was the best of times. It was the best of times.
Sorry, my finger.
How you feeling, actually, by the way, with that?
I don't know. I feel like crap. It really hurts. So
let me know if you
see me shake it out. I'm trying not to make it a thing. It's just it burns, and I'm just kind of.
But let me know if you need to take a break or if you want to get something to moisten your lips.
Yes, thank you. I'm all good.
You're a soldier. You are a soldier, Geof.
I'm gonna power through. I can't not talk about Hard Rock Zombies. I mean, we made a commitment.
It's getting you through this.
It's our commitment. Oh, okay. So now my favorite scene in the entire movie is the boys decide to. I guess they do like I don't know if this is called their media tour or whatever, but they are out on the town and they're trying to drum up interest for the concert. They're meeting people, but they're just dancing around and doing weird dances and Saturday Night Fever dances. They're riding skateboards. They're doing, mime stuff. Like one of the guys does a mime thing. And
talk about mime. This man here. Look at this mime work he's got. Oh, send him to Paris. He'll be out on the street with a black and white striped shirt. We're gonna get you one of those hats too.
You like that?
A little beret with a little thing on top, a little black cap you could put on. But would you say the band's press tour was akin to a circus coming to town and getting the people excited for the circus?
Dude, you just freaking hit the bullseye. Exactly. I mean, they're doing weird stuff. They have like those stand-ups with the head cut out where you can put your
Geof, you knew this is my favorite thing ever. This band comes with their own carnival head. Put your head through the face through the wooden body thing that they have at carnivals and fairs, and that endeared me to this band. That's all it took.
This was to get the viewers, if you weren't into them already, to know that these are just fun-loving guys and get you attached. This was character development 101 in the form of a music video.
It's akin to something that we both enjoy. The Monkees. Would you say this is a Monkees-esque band moment?
Absolutely, because there's a song playing, it's one of their songs, and there's all kinds of unrelated foolishness happen.
Yes.
Very much like the Monkees. I've seen a lot of. I think when we watched this, I kept saying I started to see a lot of similarities in a way to the Monkees watching this movie. So
Matter of fact,
very
that's how we both found out we were talking about our love
Yeah.
of the Monkees.
But yeah, that's a good point. Very much like the Monkees. I love that song. That song's called "Na Na Na," which it's a very deep song, and it has very good lyrics. It's on my Spotify playlist. Yes, and it does have a lot of good lyrics about things not coming easy, and you just got to keep at it, man, and keep trying. And for some reason, it's like they couldn't get a good verse, and so they just say "na na 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 na" over and over again. And we see our 4 heels that were there, not at the bar, not enjoying the music, and it keeps going to them, and it keeps cutting to each of their faces every time it says "nah."
They are not happy.
Nah, nah. Yeah, it's a beautiful music video. It's very Monkey-esque.
I mean, when we were watching this town really has the Footloose problem. They are banning rock and roll in this town. They do not want whatever rock and roll is going to entail. And they don't want these guys coming through their little quiet ass. I mean, this town is small. When we say a small town, you get the picture that there's probably like a diner, a store, and a church.
Yep.
And possibly the basement that passes as a club.
Yes, exactly.
That's what they got in here.
They don't. The band's member, and I don't think there's any relation to that weird family that they're staying with, but the town in general does not want these people performing, or at least the higher ups, I would say. I don't know if everybody hates them. I don't know what's going on. There's a couple scenes with the family, with the baby, with the diaper.
Oh yeah,
and all these kids watching the boys.
They liked what they saw. I mean, the kids were getting into it. There was the girls that were swooning, and then there was little girls and little boys that were kind of like.
But they were hanging out right outside the bar.
Yeah, and they're not really. But that's what I mean. They must be singing this song right in real life, kind of thing as well. Maybe. I mean, we don't know. It's a musical, esque kind of moment, but.
Yep.
They're listening to this song. This is not a song about drugs, killing, raping, devil worshipping, like anything that they could say was a rock and roll.
No.
This band is still like.
They're very good. They have good lyrics, positive messages. Very good.
Nothing too wild, you know.
Nope.
It's not heavy metal music. They might look a little strange because they got long hair, but
it's a little strange because they have long hair and they're just different. So
they're just different. That's right.
They're damned by the towns, the important town folks. I would say the what's it called? The policing part of the politicians,
especially amongst the elders of the town.
Yes, especially among
the town elders.
Well, it said that they were doing something without a license. They were doing something with it was some kind of bullshit.
Maybe like without band, like a venue place to.
Like you can't perform outside. Like they were taking pictures. And like promo pictures, I guess. Like
how dare they?
Yeah, and they throw
outside
them
in the public area. They're taking pictures. Not allowed.
Yeah, how dare you take photos outside? It's illegal in our town to do that. So they throw the guys in jail. Which is some room with hay on the ground, and they were supposed to spend 30 days or something in there. I'm like,
and then okay, so Murderess gives them the money.
But they're bailed out. So they're good to go. So now they're really pissed off. The council members are really pissed off, and they have a town meeting. And
they do.
They have it's a pretty funny scene. If it was only lit a little bit better and the audio was a little bit more audible, but they argue about whether they're going to have a meeting or was it a session, a meeting or a session, and it's two totally different things. So they have to take a vote on it. Right, and this goes on forever. So they haven't even started. Well, Ron's there representing the boys because they're back at the house practicing, and he's getting very frustrated. So people are coming up in defense of them not having concert there, saying things like, "I read in my Reader's Digest that these guys can't play a lick of music unless they eat drugs."
They eat.
That's your favorite line.
Drugs. They eat it.
My National Enquirer says that musicians cannot play a single note unless they eat drugs first.
You love
their drugs. I love that because it's one of those things that you would think of maybe your mother or your father or your grandmother or like talking about, when they eat those drugs, those punks. It's like yes,
Eating drugs. Finally, it's ruled no concert, but in doing so, they're kind of tricked somehow into banning, like you said, Footloose. All rock and roll is not. You can't sing outside. You can't sing rock and roll. You can't. It's very fascism almost. Like you can't sing outside. You can't have any records in your house. You have to bring them down to the town meeting. They're gonna burn them. They have a good old fashioned burning.
They literally did, and they love every minute of it. These people,
Yes.
They were breaking those records.
Yes. At first, they didn't realize what they were doing, but then I guess they were embracing it and burning the records.
Might be the most interesting thing that's happened in the town, besides the murdering people living with them. But
Right. Which I should have just realized the concert's going to be way more fun than that, but okay, whatever. Destroy your own belongings. Who am I to stop you from?
that's right. Yeah.
It's good when people know what they want, right? So they just wanted to get rid of all their records. So back at the house, the band's practicing outside and playing a song that Jesse wrote for the little girl, whose name is Cassie. He finds out. And it's a beautiful song.
It's beautiful,
right? It's really a nice song. That's what I mean. The soundtrack's pretty killer, man. It's a beautiful song, and he writes it for her. And they plug all their instruments into the surge protector, and then the Scotty, patriarch has the henchmen do something that causes them to get electrocuted. So they're sitting there frying and. Zzz. Well, Jesse kicks the plug out of the wall outside, and
Yes.
in a desperation move, and saves them. But then you could tell they're pissed. But the murderess and the photo taking gentleman are like, "Oh my God, it's this bad electricity out here. We're so sorry. Like, you guys all right? Like, you'll be okay for the concert. This, that, and the other." It's all.
Hopefully, it woke them up a little.
As the family is starting to devise their plan to murder the boys.
Wipe them out.
Holy Moses. Jesse is playing the rift in his room earlier. That dun, 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 that rift he found in that book. A book.
Got it from a book. A who? A book, Book.
The book.
And there's a tarantula for some reason that's crawling, and it crawls up on his guitar, and it scares him. And he's like, "Ah!" And he smashes it. And he's like, "All right." And there's yellow guts and everything. It's dead. So then he gets on, starts playing it again. Well, all of a sudden, the spider comes back and starts crawling, and he kills it. And he makes sure he really kills it this time. Plays it again. It comes back.
Yes.
At this point, you said, "I'm out of the house." You said,
he was brave enough to even get close to that. Forget about it. The fact that he keeps coming back. Nope. Bye-bye.
Yeah, this is not a house spider. This is like freaking South American tarantula. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yes, this is a hairy ass tarantula.
It's gonna fucking hurt if it bites you. It's gonna hurt like a bitch. Like my bite. Probably worse than that.
You should have actually been bit by that over what you happened to you.
Oh, geez, that's all I. Yeah, yeah.
Could have turned into Spider-Man.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe I would have had superpowers.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. He's my favorite comic book character. That would have been dope. I think at this point of time, it's told to us this thing brings stuff back from the dead. That's the whole point of the spider scene. So anyway, he goes outside to look for Cassie. But then that's just a setup, because now that didn't work, the family decides just to go all in 80 styles and kill them all. So they kill the entire band. They kill the one guy, Bobby, who's very into the blonde girl. They're in the shower,
right? They did that. That's the Psycho. Is that the Psycho parody? Or homage? Yeah. We should actually call it a homage. It really,
yeah, definitely an homage. Absolutely, because yes, and she even makes a joke about it, because she's like, "This reminds you of a movie. It's like a movie, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking Debbie Does Dallas." She's like,
"Debbie Does Dallas." I didn't even hear that they said Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah, like a porno. And she's like, "No, it's Psycho." And she pulls the knife out and she kills him, and it basically does like the scene where it just cuts to everything. It does. and then
Even
he falls
his
forward.
hand grabbing for the shower curtain,
Yep.
pulling the shower curtain down from the hooks.
That whole montage is totally redone, and then he's dead. The other two guys, the mime dude and the other band member, they're both killed in the attic by the old woman who reveals she's the werewolf and she has switchblades.
This is, I gotta say, I guess, Geof, I gotta say that the Werewolf Grandmother is my favorite character because not only was the first reveal my what the F moment, but that second that she just kind of puts her head down and, like Geof said, she just appears with these two switchblades after she transforms into the Werewolf Grandmother.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was amazing. And no explanation, and I love it. I love that.
Like, that's just how life is. There's werewolf women out there that have switchblades, and they use switchblades, so it's not just claws.
And they're magic switchblades because they literally go magically appear. If she was a video game character, her name would be Blades, probably.
Oh heck yeah, I would definitely call her Blades. And she doesn't need the wheelchair. It's all a gimmick.
Oh, that's right.
She stands up, man. She takes them out.
The wheelchair.
She takes them out. She kills them all. She stabs one of them. She makes the other one basically jump out the window. I mean, he has nowhere to go, and she's going at him. So he falls to his death. So then finally, with all of them disposed, they go after Cassie and Jesse. And it's the henchman that goes after him with one of those old school hedge trimmers. And this is like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre homage, right? So it's like there was Psycho, there was the werewolf, so it was like a monster movie, and now it's the typical old slasher movie.
Coming at you with a...
Yeah, so it's almost
Something
like each generation of horror, they're killed. And he's chasing them, he's going like this or whatever, but he gives a tape to Cassie, and he says, listen, if they get me, play this. Basically, like at my funeral, at my grave or whatever. He gives it to her. So she runs off. And the henchman kills him. So now I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You just killed all my cats. Like, what's up? So they're all dead. Right? It sucks. Anyway, it cuts to the next day where Ron, they didn't kill Ron. They left him alone. The family's with Ron.
I don't understand why they did leave him, but we'll digress for the storyline purposes. But they didn't kill him off.
They didn't kill him off. They left him there. The family, they're all having like a meal, like a dinner or something. And you see that the sheriff, who's the one that arrested them, the one that made them burn the books and all that, he is in cahoots with this crazy family. He is there with
Texas Chainsaw Massacre there too, as well, sitting around the table.
I never thought of that. That's right. Yeah, there's that, but that's
the cop
I guess
involved with the local.
Because you see on the wall, there's all these pictures of our blonde murderess. I think her name. Her name's like. I think her name's Elsa.
Oh, she's Elsa.
But that's never said. I think I saw that like on IMDb. So it's Elsa.
It's these. That happens in some movies. The characters are never given names, but they have the names, but they're never spoken.
Yeah, she loves to dance in the desert during montages and do stretches. And finally, I guess it was done off camera. They had a funeral like the next morning,
and the managers just like, you bury them on your property. Yeah.
Just bury them on your property.
Makes sense.
Things happen.
Some crosses out of some extra wood you got over there. Like, okay,
these kind of things happen in life. Shit happens.
You're playing in these small towns. This is what happens. You got to make sure.
Right. So, but Ron's really upset, and Scotty, our patriarch, says to him, well, it looks like you're out of a job. So it looks like you're probably looking for work, right? Ron's like, yeah, those are my friends. Like. And he goes, don't worry, I have it, good things will happen. Well, then all of a sudden we get another huge reveal. Don't we, Ryan? Yet another twist. You thought the werewolf was something. Hard Rock Zombies tells you to hold its beer.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any more crazy. Yes. we have Hitler.
Yes. So finally, Scotty, the patriarch of the family, reveals to
I love
Ron.
that we're calling him Scotty. He's
I
got
know
his own name now. He's Scotty. That's it.
Looks just like him, right, man? Like James Doohan doing. He finally reveals to Ron that it's been 40 years and some light goes off and he presses a button and he exposes that he is Adolf Hitler. That Adolf Hitler did not die.
I mean, he had an accent the whole movie, but I was not expecting Hitler himself, but
Yeah. It's thrown off. It does sound very German, but it's almost like it's very rugged too. It's when the reveal comes, it's the same actor. He starts to he tells him he has his plan like below I think it's some cave somewhere where it's all this yellow gas that makes your ears bleed and your lungs
underneath
fill up
the
with
house,
pus.
no? Or no, maybe it isn't underneath the house.
It's in some like cave by the house, I think.
The back cave.
Yeah, basically the back.
Something's gonna come down, one of those things, do not cross, the sign's gonna fall down and they're gonna drive through it.
You lift the thing and press the button and
Dead end. Dude.
Yep. But yeah, he's gonna take out California and then he's gonna take out the rest of the world. And now it's gonna be the third Reich again or whatever. So
What do you think it was this moment that made him decide? He was just pissed off at that band. That's it. He's gonna gas everybody now.
I guess maybe it was just for the movie.
It's good timing, actually.
Yep. 40 years later, 40 years later, he's like, 40 years I've been waiting. And, so obviously the mother is Ilsa, right? So she of the she-wolf of the Nazis. So that's probably that tie into that movie.
They love
Everything
those experiments with adding Nazi experiments, making things like that. Yeah, there's a lot of homages with this.
Yep.
She-wolf. Yeah, she-wolf.
So that comes into effect. So that all comes full circle. So Ron wants nothing to do with this. So they're like, all right, well, he runs. He takes off. They let him go.
I don't blame him at this point. Run.
Cassie goes back to the boys' graves, which they didn't even dig them under the ground. It's like they just dumped a whole bunch of mulch and dirt on top of their bodies above ground.
When you mentioned that we were watching it, and you're like, it looks like they just covered them with 2 inches of dirt, and
yeah,
it's so funny. It's so true.
Yeah, it looks like my lawn, my mulch on my lawn. I put a big old like stack like that high.
This is a shoddy funeral. Let me tell you, they buried them on the property. They gave them the most apocalyptic crosses made out of spare wood that you can find from The Walking Dead, and put their names on that, and they just threw them some fresh pile of dirt mulch on top of them, and that was it.
Right on their property, just like they were so special that they killed. And there's a couple of quick cut scenes of the flashback of the actual funeral.
Yes, so
very quick. This movie has this quick rapid editing sometimes. It puts in little things like that.
Deleted scenes. I want to see that deleted scene, the funeral scene.
Oh man, yeah, I'm sure there's probably all kinds of shenanigans that happens. If it's anything like the town meeting scene, I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff. But yeah, so Cassie goes to their grave and plays Jesse's bass. And we finally have they resurrect, and they're the Hard Rock Zombies, and they look like Bizarro Kiss. Like they're not like zombies; they look like they're just like Kiss.
It has to be that, right? That was totally going for Kiss.
Yeah, I'm surprised Gene Simmons didn't sue.
Actually, now we're speaking about Kiss, do you think the whole Cassie song is almost like their version of Beth?
Yeah. I think that's a good assumption.
I forgot to ask you that a few times when we were talking about the Cassie song, but it's like Cassie, Beth.
I never thought of that. That might be Holy Moses is Beth. It's like I can't get the rights to Kiss. How can I get these guys?
We can't get the rights to Beth.
Yeah, I'll make them.
But we're gonna make Cassie.
We can't get Beth. We can't make it about Kiss with makeup, so we'll just bring them back as zombies. and they'll be this is how I get my version of Kiss. I'll call him Holy Moses.
And you know what? It worked because Gene Simmons shockingly didn't sue them.
No, there's no way. There'd be no way to. But what about this though? It's not like the zombies come out and they're like, ugh. Like
No.
these zombies are like, they come out and they do the robot. They're like, and they walk
You
real
feel
like
that. You feel that they are rocking from beyond the grave.
Yes. They're like they're almost doing like the twist, but like
This was Return of the Living Dead. This would be that moment where that zombie, that woman Trash, I believe the character, comes back to life, and she becomes a zombie.
Oh yeah.
This
But
is some rock and roll zombies right here. These are true rockers. They come back in step.
So you know what? That's right. Return of the Living.
Oh my god, yes.
Both have and both zombies that were related to some kind of musical genre. So very relative, but yeah, they come out and they basically go kill. Each one that was killed, each of them that were murdered,
Which is great.
goes back and it has this moment where I was joking with you. It's like I remember because it keeps going back to these montages of like Jesse getting killed by the ball-headed guy. So Jesse goes and shreds him, and the two guys go after the werewolf.
It's like, in case you forgot what just
it's
happened.
And it's
We're
like
letting you
a
know.
quick cut up of their face too, and they look serious. And then it's like I remember, like while this music plays, like this very like it's a very cool song, but it's almost like
The whole soundtrack, I agree.
yeah, it's not like a revenge song. It's I guess the producer's Paul Sabu, so it sounds very like I don't know. It doesn't. It's not your normal rock kind of theme, but this is the
They're
resurrection
not your normal
theme.
rock stars. Again, they're like the Monkees. Like, Monkees are rock stars. They got some like upbeat songs.
Yes, this is the Monkees if they were murdered and come back to life as zombies and kill Hitler. That's what this montage is.
I would have loved to see
for that
movie.
episode.
That's why.
Yes. So they all kill Hitler together, but they just kind of hold hands and go in a circle around him.
Yeah,
like,
they kind of do
around.
that little. We're gonna do like a London Bridge over him and take him down.
Yeah, and that apparently all they needed to do to kill Hitler. Who'd have think? Who'd have thought, Ryan? That's what they could have done.
You didn't get him the first time. All you needed some zombies doing a London Bridge over him.
Thanks. I didn't know that's what that was called. London
I
Bridge.
don't know. I feel like isn't that like back in the day, kindergarten we used to London Bridges.
Yeah.
No, possibly. I think.
I mean, it's close enough. That works for me. And the London Bridge kills the German Hitler.
Yeah, London Bridge.
He's dead, and the
Mistress.
band now gets into their van and drives off to go play the concert.
And they
Because
can they remain
Conscious?
conscious, enough to be able to drive, but they don't speak.
Nope. They don't like the bad music though. Like, but when the rock comes on, they're like, give the Agent Cooper, like, yeah. They do the thumbs up. They go all the way to they go to the concert. Meanwhile, Ron and the townsfolk are in some room hiding, and there's a wizard-looking dude that comes out that he wasn't in the movie the entire time, but he knows everything. He knows that Hitler was hiding out here all this time. I don't know why he did not tell anyone. Why does he have this revelation now that he's dead? Thanks, Captain Obvious. Like, thanks. I'm glad you knew and didn't say anything.
You know what though? He took it to his grave. He took it to his grave, that scene.
Literally, because he winds up dying. But before he drops,
What was that from the shock of telling the story?
Didn't
Doesn't
really
he
say.
die in that scene right there, like right after he's saying Hitler didn't die?
it's more HRZ logic. It was more Hard Rock Zombies logic. He dies.
And he literally has a wizard that he has a cane, but
Yeah.
to go with this long beard that he has,
And he has,
talk
like, a
about
robe.
Moses. He's got a like long white hair and a wizard's cane though. It looks like
Yep.
a wizard's staff.
Nope, he's got the whole getup, the whole the look, the clothes, and yeah, maybe it's supposed to be Moses. Maybe it's a throwback to Holy Moses, the band name.
This movie is so genius that it goes over our heads.
It's it does not get enough love and credit. People don't get it. You know what I mean? Like they don't like. That's what I mean. It's sure it's got its whatever problems, but there was thought behind it. There was a soul.
1000%.
There was a soul. They tried to be very clever, and I think at some point in some moments they were. So that's why we do things like this, right, Ryan? This is why I battle. You know, I freaking.
It's actually looking really
crap
cool.
with this
That
bite,
finger is looking red.
Yeah, it's God, it's just.
Please
sorry,
wrap it up after this review. Please wrap your finger up. You know,
I will. I'm sorry. I'll stop talking about my finger. I'll keep
oh my
going
gosh.
forward.
Please, you were attacked in your pool. I'd be telling everyone on the street.
It's awful. It's not a good thing that happened to me today. Wasn't meant to be. It wasn't designed to make me feel good. So I'll power through. I will. I mean, we're almost at the end of the movie.
Dedicated
so.
man.
Yeah. So the wizard tells him about all this stuff about Hitler, and then for some reason the wizard also knows about the zombies. A ghoul. They say ghoul. They don't say zombie in this movie at all, ever.
They go back to the Romero Night of the Living Dead first thing when they call them ghouls.
That's
They're
right.
Ghouls.
The brain of a ghoul has been activated by the radiation. The plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul.
Could have been a throwback to that. You never know, man. That could have been a reason they did that. Yeah, they only call them ghouls, and they say one bite from a ghoul will turn someone else into a ghoul, and it's like, wait a second. Ooh. Goes back to the compound, the Hitler compound, where the townsfolk, like the politicians, and they're there checking out the situation. Like they were all going to go arrest the band. They still hate this band.
They still. They're
like, they murdered Hitler. We have to throw them in jail, not throw them a parade, right? Ryan, like...
They need to be in jail, these...
Yes. How dare they stop Hitler's from taking over the world again with his yellow gas? We have to burn them, right? I mean, this town's effed up, man. So, but they go back, and because they're so foolish... They go back, Hitler and all of them rise up as not so nice zombies and kill them, thus turning them into zombies. So now it's starting to spread throughout the town. Everyone's turning into a zombie. The little people, Phil Fondacaro comes back as a zombie. Yes. But then the one that looks weird, that looks like a monster, comes back and looks completely the same.
Looks the same.
You said that, and I think that's something as many times as this is why I like watching movies with people who've never seen it, because I'm so deep in the weeds, right?
You're right, yeah.
But I think that was supposed to be a joke, that it was like a creature the whole time, and it comes back, it looks like
I agree. In his scenes, they slowly show him eating himself over the course of the rest of the movie.
Yep. Phil Fondacaro tries to eat other stuff. The weird creature is in like a nice Italian restaurant and it's playing nice music.
What is that? Yes, it's like
he's holding his hand and he's eating it. I mean, it's insane. Much like Hard Rock Zombies.
Hard Rock Zombies.
So meanwhile, the boys are playing their concert, and Cassie's there, and she walks by them, and they just acknowledge her. They don't attack her, which goes to show you that they are good. They're not like bad zombies. Like, they went back for their revenge. Their passion was to play this concert. I guess they had to do some things, before they moved on.
Yeah,
I guess before they could rest in peace.
Yeah,
rest in peace. So they could do that, right?
That's right.
So they the producer comes, and he absolutely he's not digging them. He doesn't dig the Cassie song so much.
And we mentioned this when we were watching it, Geoff, but the producer comes with a bag. He brings his own...
A little skinny suitcase, yep.
He brings his own hunky man picture frame. He brings his own... Was the lamp there, or did he bring the lamp?
The lamp was in the suitcase. The lamp, the table, the side table was I believe was in the suitcase still, that he puts all the stuff on.
I love it because, again, this is something that can happen in movies like this. It could just be so over the top and it makes sense in their universe.
Yep.
But then he also must bring a corded phone that's plugged into his suitcase that he's talking into the whole time. He's like, oh, this thing sucks, or I like these people. And he's the only one there.
Yeah, he's the only one there because all the rest of the townsfolk are dead. right? So, or they're being murdered by the
Or in
all
this
the
weird,
zombies.
random, again, another basement.
Yeah,
Random
yeah.
basement.
The survivors are hiding in some like storeroom below the
Parade
city.
storeroom, like you said. Parade. The town storeroom for the local parades.
But I love the producer though, how he has like the phone, but it also acts as an intercom. Like he actually goes like that to the guy so they can hear him. It's
What was that?
HRZ logic. I love it. This is why I love this movie, Ryan. It's maniacal. It's genius.
It's true. How many other times could you say this about other movies?
Yeah, all this stuff came out of this dude's suitcase. This like not a suitcase even, one of those those business briefcases that are like that thick and like this big. Like so he's not really digging the band. And let's also say that the drummers, for some reason, is in a cage, is in some kind of like jail cage. What that was all about, but they didn't have that earlier. But
it's very effective, I guess, to sell the music.
Yes,
he's the drummer. He's the wild one.
Yeah, this is more. They had to have more. They weren't at that local dive bar. They were giving themselves stage presence. They had to go all out.
This is exactly. This is their big budget moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's dry ice, there's smoke, there's lights. So I mean, there's a little bit of a production in this little tryout concert.
Yeah.
But Cassie's watching them. She loves Jesse. She's very sad. This is the first time she actually hears the song that he wrote for her. And she has what I like to call the Grease 2 moment. For those of you who've seen Grease 2, and Michelle Pfeiffer, Stephanie character, is she thinks that the Cool Rider guy has died, and there's a whole biker heaven sequence, which is absolutely phenomenal.
There is a biker heaven sequence.
Yes, and I would say that this movie went and ripped off or paid homage to Grease 2.
They went full Grease 2.
Not Grease, they paid homage to Grease 2. And he's got the scarf. You nailed it. You're like, dude, this is totally accurate because there's the scarf. I mean, he wasn't
and
wearing
this
a
all
scarf.
White, right? Like angelic, but he's in this all white outfit, and Jesse is in an all white outfit, chest hanging out, scarf, and Cassie's in her white outfit too, just like Stephanie. Yeah, they're having a Grease 2 moment.
Yeah, they're there. They're dancing with each other. So that's where the love is formed, you know. So that's
when she found him, she lost him.
Oh, it all seems so unfair. Just when I found you, I lost you.
Pretty much, that's what happened here too. That's what happened here too. Once she found him, she lost him. Even though we still think she's 15, and I don't know if I'm okay with this whole relationship.
I'm pretty sure in the movie she's supposed to be definitely young.
Yeah. He keeps calling her little girl.
Unregistered. Yeah. Unregistered offender. No, but unidentified age group, but young.
Yeah. He keeps referring to her as little girl until he finds out her name's Cassie, because he says, I wrote a song about you. What's your name? Which I think that's his line with every chick. Right? Like.
Yeah. I agree. But he's not that kind of guy, right? So we're going to give it to him. We're going to say that he doesn't do that to other people.
As well established. And like I say, 2 wrongs in my book do make a right. So maybe he's into the whole pedo thing. She's into necrophilia now because he's dead. He's a zombie. So, maybe it was meant to be.
She's still into it. You're right. She's still into it.
Yeah. Because her dad's a dickhead. Remember his dad's constantly smoking.
She wants to run away. She wants to run away with the band.
Yeah, no wonder she always looks weird all the time. She's with that crazy dad.
She's always in her nightgown. Her 5-year-old nightgown, white dress.
She's just this 5-year-old nightgown. Her dad's like a chain smoker, and he looks like Squiggy from Burning Shirley.
You said he looked like Squiggy. Dad.
But he's like a mean Squiggy. Like, Squiggy's cool. Like, he's like a mean
That's
Squiggy.
right. That's right.
Heel Squiggy. Heel Squiggy.
Heel Squiggy. Laverne and Shirley.
So back in the storeroom where the townsfolk are hiding out, there is another book that comes up on how to defeat or combat ghouls.
Book.
I love to know where they're
I gotta say,
finding
there's a lot of books. I've been reading a lot of books lately as well, like that. So, sometimes books just come into your possession, but, you never expect to find out how to kill ghouls in them.
Like on Amazon, why do I not see things like this? Like musical riffs that can bring back people from the dead. Like why? Like I see cookbooks. I see books on fixing marital problems. There's all kinds of books. I'm trying to say there's a very large range, but I don't know where these guys shop, but I would like to visit there with you and go find some of these cool books. Maybe we'll find something special.
Certain ghouls don't eat heads. So? Well, ghouls hate heads the way Satan hates the church.
There's one guy who's like shot calling, even though like I don't believe him because he seems very disgenuine. He's
He
like,
just
you
took
can
over.
tell he's, huh?
This guy just took over.
Yeah, you could tell he's using everybody because he's whatever. But he's like, he reads this book here. And for some reason, there's some, and Hard Rock Zombies has its own mythos.
Yes, it does.
For
yes,
zombies.
it does.
As we're starting to learn, right? So the first thing we learn I mean, okay, the music brings you back from the dead, but I mean, that's done in lots of
Yeah,
stuff.
like that's
right?
just chump change. This is
Totally chump change. They find out that the way to, I guess it's almost like mosquito repellent. So ghoul/zombie repellent are pictures of heads, giant pictures of heads. The ghouls aren't attracted to this is funny too, because the ghoul's not attracted to the brain or something, and they don't like brains.
Which is an opposite usually of brains.
Yeah, which the same year, Return of the Living Dead established that mythos that they eat brains because it hurts to be dead. But yeah, so it's almost like the opposite of Return of the Living Dead. So, but it makes absolutely no sense. Coincidentally, there's giant pictures of heads in this storeroom of John
Marilyn
Lennon,
Monroe, James Dean,
Elvis,
giant
head,
black and white heads.
Big giant heads. Yes.
And they do as I said to Jeff when we were watching this, a Shaun of the Dead, but also kind of like that Walking Dead thing when they kind of put, if we put the guts of the other zombies, we could walk right past them. Or Shaun of the Dead, if we just pretend to be zombies, we can walk right past them. No.
Yeah, Ron does this. Ron's like,
you put, all you need is a giant head.
Yeah. Which I wonder if Simon Pegg and those guys saw this movie and saw that, because I mean it's basically,
I love that.
If you do that, but then Ron throws up because they start eating the guy, and then they're like they know
yeah, they're smart zombies too, because
smart.
they know like you don't belong here, you vomited.
Yeah, zombie, much like Return of the Living Dead, and they're smart zombies, even though these movies were filmed at the same time. These are all coincidences, folks. So they try send more cops.
Send more cops.
So they have the giant heads, and it is working. The guy that told them to do that, he knows this might not work. So he said, they go, "Are you coming?" And he goes, "Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna grab I left my back here." Goes and shuts and locks the door, locks them out. They're on the street. There's another great song, Street Angel, is playing. And coincidentally, while it's playing there, the band is playing it at their concert. And the producer's starting to get into their music. He's like, oh my God, wait a second. What is this? You know, and he's up dancing. And it's doing that cut, that back and forth Hard Rock Zombie cut. There's like rapid, weird. I love the editing in this movie. So it goes back to the town. All of a sudden, one of the girls trips over the wheelchair, which all of a sudden the werewolf zombie Ilsa is in.
Yes.
I thought she could walk. I thought she didn't need it. I thought the wheel. But anyway, she's in the wheelchair. Trips over the wheelchair. The head falls and is exposed. Well, Ilsa dimes him out. Everyone, all of a sudden, all the zombies now rip off the gig is up. The jig is up. They attack all of them. They go back to the guy that put them out there to begin with and knock on the door and hold up the heads like they're okay. And he goes, "Oh, it works. I'm so happy." And then they drop it and they all attack him and eat him.
I love it. That was so smart too. That was so smart.
It was smart. They got organized. It was waiting for him to unlock that door. So they get him. So all that's really left in the town is a handful of people, including Ron, who are now somewhere totally different. Because all the zombies show up there. Right? All the zombies are there rocking out. I guess, to this music.
The music almost attracts them like a Pied Piper is.
Like a good call. Yeah, good thought. Like a Pied Piper. Oh, they pull back from the band because they're zombies. However, they do see Cassie there, and but Cassie takes off. Cassie's almost captured, but she takes off. Somehow she's able to, retreat back to the storehouse, like with the very few remaining humans in the town left alive. Meanwhile, the producer wants to give the band all this money in the world, give them a contract. They don't. They get back in their van and leave, and the producer thinks they're playing hardball and negotiating. Like, you'll never work in this town again. One of those things. Damn it, crazy kid.
Damn kids.
But a zombie attacks him and turns him into a zombie. So we go back to the storehouse. They're reading that book again. There's another book. There's all these books, all this stuff, and basically, and more mythos. Ryan, right? More zombie mythos that are being dropped here in this movie.
Deep.
Apparently, you can like escape zombies or, do something. They can escape the town basically if they sacrifice a virgin at midnight.
Couldn't they have just run?
That's what I thought. Maybe they should just haul ass.
Or just left the town. It seems like like we were saying, it's a small town, so.
Yeah, maybe there's something deeper that wasn't that audible, but.
Oh yeah, they'll follow us wherever we go.
So they look at Cassie, and Ron's like, absolutely not. Like, what are you, crazy? And they all basically kind of rough him and outvote him and said no. So they give him to the zombies. They give poor little Cassie to the zombies. Well, Ron's like, he runs back to the concert hall looking for the band to save her. Because who else is going to battle zombies but other zombies? That's right. The zombies that they made. The band made themselves. They kind of caused this. So he goes back there and Ron's having he sees the producer there, thinks he's resting, and is basically cuts a promo that, he's a changed person. He used to be about money and fame and fortune when it's really about people. And all he wants to do is find the band and save Cassie. That's all he's worried about. The producer comes alive, tries to attack them, and Ron runs away like hardy har har har. So now you see that the full moon just happens to be tonight, Brian. That they need to sacrifice.
I think there's a full moon actually tonight as well when we're recording that. So, ooh. I'm setting that mood.
They tie her up to a tree. The zombies are all going to attack her. Just to make sure that it's going to work, they also tie up a goat. Just in case, because, sacrificing a goat's always something.
When in doubt, you give the goats because it's an old reliable. That's an old reliable.
Yes. Always kill that goat. Right, just in case.
Those poor goats.
Not the greatest of all time, but the actual Billy goat.
Yeah, it's not the goat.
They don't eat her. More mythos. They're gonna penetrate her sexually, like a gangbang orgy. Remember, then they're going to eat her. So,
wow, you know what? These zombies are really something.
Yeah, they got a lot. They got a lot of rules, man. They got a lot of books written about them too.
They got a lot of books. You're right. At least 2.
At least.
Plus the one that brings zombies around, the song.
Yeah. Plus musicians that are all in cahoots, I guess, together. He takes Cassie's ring that Jesse gave her earlier. I forgot to mention. I'm sorry, but just so he has something that he can give. So Ron's back at the grave and he's yelling at them and come back, guys. You started all this. They need your help. Cassie needs your help, please. He finally puts the ring over Jesse's grave. Jesse's hand comes out. So the Hard Rock zombies go to the cave where Tetler has the gas, and they start playing more Trey, oh son Trey. Oh, they play that song. That the actual Resurrection song is a badass jam.
Who knew?
Yes, where they just say more Trey, ascend Trey, amen. So it's rise, the dead rise, amen. That's, I guess, the lyrics. Look at me.
That was pretty good.
All this useless knowledge I have. So it bring like the Pied Piper sequence earlier. The music brings them, and the song, the combination, brings them back, and the band brings them in there, sets off the gas, kills all of them. even themselves, which is sad. It's a sad moment. Very, very sad. So Holy Moses sacrifices themselves for young Cassie. Ron saves her at the tree.
Yes.
They finally bury them, but they bury them back at the same Hitler complex above ground.
Like, sorry, you were heroes. You saved the day in the end, but you're staying here, guys. You're staying on the complex.
In this shoddy, above ground grave.
You don't even have last names. It's like Jesse.
Yeah. Yeah, all their names are just Jesse, Bobby. Like, there's no last names, no dates.
God, how sad.
So sad. And then and they were gonna get their contract. That just goes to show you they were a good band. They were gonna get their contract from their producer, but
That's the sucky part there.
So that's why they avenged what they needed to do. They killed Hitler and his crew. They went and played the concert of their lives, or deaths, maybe I should say. And then they could rest in peace now. So we're finally at the end in our closing scene.
So cool.
Jesse puts his hand back out for her, just to know that he's still around. Not to worry, Cassie, you're not alone.
But Cassie tells him in her little girl voice, literally, it's like, I'll always remember you.
Yup.
I'll always remember you, Jesse.
Meant everything I said, Jesse. You'll always be the only one. And I'll come back and visit you here forever.
And he comes out with the ring, right, on his finger?
Yep. To give it back to her.
I wouldn't even have known he wanted me to take that back. I would have just been like, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, what if he was like, whoa, I just wanted to
That's my ring. Listen, grave robbing now, Cassie. I might have been cradle robbing you earlier, but now you're grave robbing.
Great. So then we get credits, and our closing theme is Cassie, and we never get that sequel that I always wanted.
Oh man, because the Hard Rock Zombies could have came back for another adventure.
Sure.
When in need, Cassie could have called them to stop. I don't know, some kind of what else? Who else didn't die? Another historic Napoleon. Great soundtrack, fun plot, and I was saying that this is the perfect movie, just as Geof shared with me when we watched it. It's a great movie to watch with friends, I think.
Yep. I watch it every Halloween. Sometimes I watch it by myself because nobody wants to watch it. But I don't know. I've shown it to people, and they always are like, "Wow, this is not what I expected. This is entertaining. I'm entertained."
You are definitely entertained with this movie. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
No,
you will
doubt
be entertained. You will question yourself. You'll question reality.
Just keep
You'll be
telling
singing
yourself.
You'll humming Cassie for days.
Yeah, soundtracks on Spotify. Just gotta remember that
obscure for these. There's movies that are known for their soundtracks. Well, this movie is too, but that are unreleased, never get a release. And Hard Rock Zombies has a soundtrack. So if you are interested in this, it's amazing. I mean,
and I love them.
Oh, Jeff,
Ryan, I don't feel good, man.
Your finger. You did talk a lot about that. I mean, you must have gave all your energy just talking about this whole movie. Oh man.
Yeah,
maybe we should cut it. Maybe we should cut it now and
I don't
do it when you feel better.
Yeah,
you gotta lay down, man. You got Geof. Oh my god. Jeff's dead. Geof just died while we were recording this. Oh man, Geof. You know what? This is not the end, my friend. I am so glad that I bought this book on Amazon. There has to be something in it. It's first edition. It's got all kinds of folklore in it. Oh my god. It's okay. Nazi werewolf grandmas. Underage brow women with large eyebrows. Oh my god. Toxic bites. Here we go. It's a song in this book, and if I'm able to play it with weeks-long practice on music that I just so happen to be doing this week, I can bring Geof back to life. Okay, Here I go. He's rising from his grave. Geof? Are you okay? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, not you, Geof. Geof, you're a hard rock zombie. Oh no. Oh my god. No, Geof, you gotta stop. Geof, you gotta stop moving those arms. No, that is too much cardio for one person to do all at once. No, stop. Okay, I got you. This book has to have something to bring you back to life. And the right way, my friend. We're not gonna keep you like this. Oh man. Oh. I'm not gonna lie though, your miming skills is out of control. Oh my god. Who's there? Oh, he's breaking through the door now. Oh. Okay. Oh. There has to be the scariest thing to bring you back. And just like in the movie, a giant head says to bring the scariest giant head I can think of. And in my collection of giant heads, I have but one that will cure you.
Yes!
Chocolate cake. Burritos. Wraps. Pronouns. Pal.
Geof, are you... Oh...
Damn it, pal.
Oh, Geof! Oh my god!
I gotta stop sniffing that Ajax, man. That is not good for me. Oh, I have
How are
a
you
headache.
feeling? How are you
Mexico.
feeling?
Feel much better, thank you.
Man, you look like you were raised from the grave about a few minutes ago.
What happened?
Well, I gotta tell you, buying books on Amazon is without knowing what they are is very smart because...
Really?
My god, your infected finger, it
Yeah.
turned you into a hard rock zombie.
No shit. Really?
You were living the dream a minute ago. So I think you died, and then I brought you back by playing the flute that I just learned this week. You know, the things you learn on YouTube. But anyway, I digress.
Oh man.
You're back.
I guess I owe you my life and my death. Thank you very much.
Oh my
appreciate
god.
it.
And say no more. You doing this review of hard rock zombies. Here's a little spoiler, everybody. I've been wanting to say rock hard zombies for the whole hour.
And to your credit, you have not said it. You said it's the first time you said it. And that's because you were too distraught from trying to bring me back from the dead. So I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you.
Seeing you die on camera was one of the worst things of it ever. But having you come back as a zombie and then back to yourself.
Oh, I'll say this. Do you know who's more excited about me not dying and returning from the dead more than you?
Who?
The Student Loan Corporation, because all of my loans with them die once I...
Oh, no! Oh, my God.
Once I do.
They've been trying to reach you about your extended warranty as well, and you will not get back to them. You will not get back to them. This is your final chance as well. That's happened when you were dead, matter of fact. Either way, I am so glad to have you back to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I tell you what, that whole white light thing, very overrated.
Oh.
It's not that white. It's more like tan, like when you turn your ring light on and it's a tan color. It's kind of like that. I'm glad we got through the Hard Rock Zombie review.
Oh my god, first off, I'm so glad that you introduced me to the movie.
Okay, I'm glad.
We shared it together, and I love to learn about people's favorite movies and why they love it. And I totally see it. So
The first time I saw Hard Rock Zombies was, I mean, I used to see the VHS box in the movie store all the time, and it looked very cool. You know, it just you know, as a kid, I even thought it looked. I thought the artwork on the original VHS is pretty dope. So it's very 80s. It's very cool. I actually have a copy here. I can actually show.
oh, look at his bag of tricks over there. He's pulling it. Oh.
Cheat. So I used to see this all the time, and I just always thought this was the coolest. I don't know why. I don't know why I never rented it. You know, because I don't know. It's you get like one rental, and this looked like it could have been very bad. So
yeah. So you want to make when you're making it a blockbuster night, you want to make sure it's a good blockbuster night.
That's right. And this is why I didn't want to show you the back because there's a spoiler. Like, so I see this, and this was originally released by Vestron Video. So that's this one. And I used to look at the back of this all the time and say, like, it almost looks like Kiss, you know, like versus rather than a zombie. And why is this zombie about to stab this person with a spike? Like, is this Nightmare City where the zombies use weapons? I mean,
yeah.
So anyway, it's just one of those ones I passed by the video store, for many years, never got it. And when I lived in Orlando in '99, I went into a thrift store that was there, a pawn shop, I should say, more like a pawn shop. And I found some movies that I wanted. There's some VHSs because VHS was still, I didn't have a DVD player yet. And I bought some other ones, and I was, negotiating, and I found this in there. Found this in the bottom, all by its lonesome. And I thought, I'll pay whatever for that if you throw this in, or at least give it to me for like $1, because everything in there was $5. I don't know, because I don't know if it plays or not. You got to be careful with VHSs back then. So I took this home, and I'd already gotten, what was it? The other movies I was super stoked about. So, but this was one I never saw. It was right around Halloween. And I'm like, you know what? It was a Saturday night. I'm like, I'm just going to pop this in and watch it. And it was nothing that I expected at all. I did not expect the reveal of Hitler, a grandma that turns into a werewolf with switchblades, new zombie mythos. Like, I didn't expect it to have a cool soundtrack. I did not expect it to be as fun and entertaining as it was.
Fun. Yes.
Sometimes there's movies that are just, they're not great movies, and it's they're tough to get through.
Yes.
This was fun. So I can't look at this. I mean, there's a lot of times you'll hear me in my video reviews say, "Oh, I threw away this VHS. I shouldn't have done that. I needed room." But you see, this is one of the ones I kept.
It's still there with you. I was gonna say, you still see, that just shows what it means to you as well.
Yeah. This shit is rare. So that's how I have that. So I have that. And then my wife now, but she was my girlfriend at the time, surprised this for me on my birthday. I didn't know this even came out on DVD.
That had to be fabulous as a surprise.
In 2006, my eyes shot out of my head. I'm like, I didn't even know this existed. So take a look at it. So it looks like
now that is what a wonderful. Those are the best presents, when it's exactly what you didn't even know that you needed.
That's right. That's right. So it is very cool. Like I said, it's one of my favorite movies. It's, I could watch it. It's, I'm almost like at a loss for words why I like it. Cause it's not like, I love Jaws. Look at Jaws. It's an Academy Award level movie. It's perfect. I like Evil Dead 2. I like movies like Shawshank Redemption. I mean, I like different kinds of stuff.
Yes.
And Near Dark. I mean, that's kind of like a little bit of a style.
I remember that you love Near Dark.
So, but for something like that, it's like, well, how is that a favorite movie? It's some of the audio, it's not very, some of the audio is terrible, and because it's a lot of fun. It's very entertaining. I've never sat down and watch it and just been like, oh god, this is
why am I watching this? You ran a blog about the movie for a little while back in the day when making websites was the thing.
Yep.
And I wish these things lasted the sands of time, but
Yeah, I used to have a blog called The Man Cave. It was Enter the Man Cave, and then it was The Man Cave. So that's because like when the word man cave was like hot back then. So
yes.
I started it for fun. I didn't think of a lot of marketing around it, or I just started a blog. My wife started a blog. I wanted to write stuff when I traveled, so I didn't put a lot of like thought into it at first, but I just was doing it for fun. But eventually, after a while, it kind of, I don't know. I mean, I had a lot of followers, and I get a lot of comments and everything, and it was fun. It was fun. So one time I decided to do an entire week dedicated to Hard Rock Zombies, and I call it HRZ Week. So I put it out there on Facebook and Twitter that I was doing it. I didn't think anyone was really going to care, but and really not many people cared. But but the people that did care, were very, very cool people, because one of the people that reached out to me was from another country, and in my like opening promo for it, I wrote that I made my own soundtrack by taping it off of VHS, off TV, and it had all this. It just sounded like crap, but I still added because the soundtrack was cool. So he asked if he could be a part of Hard Rock Zombie Week, and I was like, yeah, of course. You could write your own story, and he sent me a copy. Like there was a CD released, and it was called, over there it's called something different. It's called Rock Zombies. So they don't have Hard Rock Zombies, just Rock Zombies.
Not rock hard zombies. Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah. Like it's Jesse on there, and it's all black in the background. It's very, very cool. So he sent that to me. He burned a copy and sent me one, and
Very nice.
It's like studio quality. It's freaking dope. I still have a copy of the CD. So but they didn't sell it anymore. That's why he made me a copy. There's no way to buy it or anything. And he's like, I can't go to the store and buy it. I bought this like 10 years ago. And at the time, this was like 2010, 2011. So this is we're going back. We're going back.
Yes.
So I thought it was very cool. There were some other people that joined in, and I thought, hey, let me roll the dice, so to speak. And I actually reached out to some people that were in the movie. So I reached out to the guy that played Ron, their manager. I thought he was phenomenal. I thought he was very funny. He looked like Bruce McCullough from Kids in the Hall. And I don't know. I always thought he was a cool character. So I reached out to him, and pretty much he wasn't interested in talking about it at all. I reached out to the guy that does the mime, and I can't remember his name in real life, but the guy that does the skateboarding and the mime. Like, he was the fun guy in the movie, like the fun member of the band, but he didn't want to talk about it either. I couldn't find the director. It was very difficult. So, but I really wanted to talk to him. Nothing. Because I had a million questions. So the person I thought I was never going to hear from is actually the person I connected with. And it was the guy that plays Jesse, EJ Curse.
So crazy. Like the lead.
Yep. I emailed him because he was in a band called Silent Rage for a while, and he's a true musician. And
is he the one actually singing on the soundtrack as well?
He sings. That was him singing, and he's not a singer. And I guess I'll get into all the things. It's just, yes, he sang on all that, which is amazing. That's what he told me. So, but I reached out to him and I emailed him. So, and it was 2011. It's a different time,
Yes.
And I didn't hear anything, and I thought, no. I get an email. I'm like, oh wow. So he goes, yeah. Basically, it was this whole opening, and it was you know what I'm tired of, man. I'm tired of every 5 years I'll get some like dickhead that wants to contact me and make me feel bad about a movie and this and that. And even though I wrote the most sincere letter, about how I am a true fan and I know it's cheesy and all, but I'd really like to talk to you about it because I'm dedicating a week on my blog. And
that's pretty good. I mean, that's a week for a movie like that. That's nice. That's really something. That shows dedication.
Yeah, and I just am like, I'll talk about whatever you want. I was really nice, but he says, it was something like that, like jerk off or dickhead or something that tried. Yeah, I thought like, oh man, like I wish you wouldn't have just emailed me back, So I'm going through all this stuff, and then finally it's like, haha, I'm just kidding, man. That being said, I would love to talk to you about it. I'm just teasing. Like, sure, send me your questions. Let me know when you want them back or whatever. So I was very enthusiastic, and since I had a whole bunch of questions, I was going to split up between 2 or 3 people. I figured they'd want to talk about it. Like, you did something, you did a movie. Who cares? Like, it's people, you have fans. Like, I mean, there's people that like the movie. So I might have sent him so many questions, and I felt, in retrospect, I'm much older now. I feel so bad that I sent him so many questions, and he actually answered all of them. He was so cool, man. He was very, very cool about it. He sent them back to me. He answered. He went into a lot of detail about things, and I'm thinking, this is a musician. This is not a guy that's on his computer all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right. Sitting there to write these things down. Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought, like, man, this was so, like, so I'm like, I'm going to include every single answer, like, in every question or whatever. So I just asked him little stuff like, about like Phil Fondacaro. I think I'll say this instead. I don't want to go through all the questions, but some of the main highlights was I asked him straight up, this movie is extremely silly. I don't think it's definitely not a comedy. Maybe it was lost in translation. Basically, was this shot as a comedy or was it shot as a horror?
Right, okay, yes.
Like, was this supposed to be goofy or was it supposed to be shot straight? And he said, man, this was supposed to be shot straight. And, we do find some funny elements in that movie, like with the, I want to hold your hand.
Yes.
Yes. But I guess to him, it was, supposed to be shot. He's a musician.
That could have been misconstrued as something creepy, like, I'm holding a severed hand, and you just kind of make a song kind of reference, but to me, that's funny.
Yeah, you had the whole council meeting thing. You had Ron acting like so there was comedic things. So
like the big heads have to have been a comedy part of that. Like that had to have been.
Yeah, that heads would like keep the ghouls away and all that. I mean, so, but he's saying though, he said it was supposed to be, it was shot straight. He was a musician, and he was not an actor. And I think it's a manager that he split ties with, I think, immediately after this, because he wasn't getting music gigs. But they said, the manager was I keep saying it was manager, agent, whatever that terminology is. But they got him a chance to do a part in a movie. And he's like, I'm not an actor. And they're like, no, but they want real musicians because you're going to play instruments and all
this.
That's
actually cool. Yeah, I think that's cool.
So he's like, he's a young guy. You get to be in a movie. You get to hang out and have fun. He knew one of the guys, the guy that plays Bobby, Sam Mann. He said that he's like, I guess they were in the same social scene. They're good friends, and they're still, I guess, good friends, at least back then, to this day.
Yes.
He told
about
me
10, 11 years ago.
Yeah, because I thought like, that sounds awesome, because I thought maybe if you guys played your own instruments, did you guys ever become your own band? And he said, no.
That would have been really something. Can you imagine then collecting the albums from that band that formed from that movie?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought like, well, if you sang, and Paul Sabu was the producer, and he's a famous producer. He produced, he worked with Gene Simmons. EJ Kurse was excited to tell me about working with Gene Simmons because I told him I'm a Kiss fan. And so yeah, he was very cool. He just told me that though when he went in to try, like he went in for several auditions, and like they'll have you read a script and they'll give you like a scenario.
Yes.
He said for them to land this role, he had a scenario where he had to pretend like he was there with another actor screen testing.
Yes.
And he had to pretend that person was his best friend's mom, and he had to explain to her that his best friend and her son was just killed by a drunk driver in a car accident.
Wow. God, that's really heavy for this movie.
Yeah. So he was like, whoa, man, this is deep. But, he had a good look. He could play his instruments. He got it. But that's why he's like, no, it was serious. He goes, they didn't bring me in there to do any comedy. It was very, very serious stuff. So he told me that was very cool. It was very interesting. I asked him about, future releases, plans for a sequel. this movie is featured a lot in the director's first movie called
That was really interesting. Yes.
American Drive-In. Like they go see a movie called Hard Rock Zombies, and it's playing the whole time. So I mean, there's so many weird things about like Spookies being two different movies, and
yes,
like the Killer Party being shot 8 years apart or 6 years apart or something. So there's always like weird stories you learn about movies. Because the Hard Rock Zombies, that they die and they come back and kill the family.
Yes.
Very early on, because you were even like, wow, that's it. Like they killed.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what?
Like it's just like 45 minutes. I asked him if this was originally shot for American Drive-In, and then because that was a rumor. That was a rumor.
Smart question though.
He said absolutely not. This was a real movie. It was. I think the director had shot it like around the same time as each other, but it was a full film. It was full film, beginning to end. There was a script, all that. He told me about a lot of funny stories on the set and stuff. So that was cool, seeing some of that inside stuff. Inside knowledge I would never hear about. He sent me a lot of behind the scene pictures that I put on my blog. He said I can go ahead and do it. So it was old Polaroids, like him dressed like him as zombie Jesse with Hitler, and just some other stuff. Guys clowning around on the set, hanging out. You know, he said the guy that plays Sandman was kind of wild and used to run around and drive the directors crazy, running around in a towel. And he said one of the frustrating parts about making them, because I said it sounds like you had a good time.
Yes.
And he said the thing that was, I guess, frustrating to him and some of the guys they're real musicians in the 80s. They're out there. They know how dudes in the 80s talk. They know what it's like to be a hard rocker, how rockers act. Like they're the genuine article. The director and the producers and screenwriters, they were all from another country, and they're telling these guys, here's how you're supposed to act, here's how you're supposed. So when you see them in that and they're doing all this weird stuff and dancing around, and I'm like, that is because they were told, no, don't. They had a whole other thing planned what they were going to do, and they're like, no, this is not how actors act, and I mean how musicians in the 80s act. And they're like, guys, we are musicians. People don't talk like this. People don't act like this. We don't go book to each other. So that's why a lot of the guys are kind of embarrassed. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I had told him that I reached out to a couple of other people and that they weren't going to, they didn't get back to me. And he said, if you would have spoke to me first, I would have told you not to bother. I thought the guy, Ron, because I said, was he a musician or was he an actor?
Yeah.
Because you guys had like chemistry. Like he seemed like a cool guy. And he just said that the guy that played Ron was, I think David Wells, I believe is his name. I hope I'm saying his name right.
You're good.
Sorry, Ted Wells, not David Wells, Ted Wells. He actually said that he wasn't into it the whole time. He was a SAG actor. He was like the only SAG actor on there. He was mad. He thought he was better. He could do better than this. And you saw the movie. Would you have thought that guy Ron was great? I thought he was funny. I was like, oh man, he's totally into this movie. It's really funny because he told me that he was in a couple other things as like little bit parts, but this is true. This is true. So the day that I'm reading this, the day that I was reading his comments back, he had mentioned that he was in an episode of Rules of Engagement, which I love that show. My wife turned me on to that show. The one who used to be on CBS with David Spade and Patrick Warburton. And he said he had a bit, swear to God, he was in the episode that night. I went upstairs with my wife to watch it and he was in it. Because he didn't say what episode he was in. I didn't look it up. We're watching it. He literally has one line. I was like, oh my God, that's him. But you could tell he's like, he's older, much thinner. You know what I mean? It's,
Do you have the mustache still?
No, he was clean shaven.
Ooh.
He was clean shaven. So I thought that was pretty cool. And so he was great. The one thing though, I did ask him at the end, because I said, listen, no one's claiming this movie, but you're the leader, Jesse, of Holy Moses. I would be honored if you would initiate me and make me the official member, an official member, an official member. I don't want to say an unofficial, a member, a true member.
You are, yes, in the lineup. You are a
member of Holy Moses / Hard Rock Zombie. I am the official 5th member, and he granted the request and said yes.
He knighted you.
I got knighted. So I am a Hard Rock Zombie. I am a member of Holy Moses.
You have no idea. The sucky part about your experience with the blog is that the pictures got taken. And basically you were saying that every time if you Google search this movie, you're probably going to see the photos that came from your man cave blog.
Dedicated. I scoured the internet looking for stuff. I couldn't find anything. Right? He sends me these pictures. They're like Polaroids, like scanned Polaroids. You can see the quality of the pictures. It looks like somebody like put it on a copier and sent it. And I don't listen. I didn't do it for money. I didn't give a shit. No. I'm sure. Listen. If there's Hard Rock Zombie lovers that wanted to use them, that's great. But like, I would have been nice to give a little shout out back to the man cave or something. But these photos are everywhere. And as of like 2 weeks after my blog thing, they've been out there. They're the picture of him with Hitler, some backstage things. This is very cool. So we're friends on Facebook from that experience, from that, and I don't know. We'll see.
You should say, hey.
We're not buddies. Like, we don't hang out. We haven't talked since. So if any Hard Rock Zombie fans want to chat, let me know.
Oh my God. I can't wait to. So there's people who stole those photos within a week. So they're out there. They're the ones buying these soundtracks and selling them out. So. And I'm
not, I mean, you know, it's kind of, yeah, I'm saying I would have loved a little bit of credit for it, but it's all good, man. I don't. It's all in fun. I'm glad those pictures are out there. I'm glad he sent those to me to share with other fans.
That was really nice that he went above and he wanted to really. It shows that he appreciated you, I think.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I didn't. This I also have this. This was the most recent thing for Hard Rock Zombies that's been released, and it came out in 2018. My good friend at Shit Movie Fest told me that it was coming out, but let me make sure it's in frame. This is the vinyl soundtrack for Hard Rock Zombies.
Wow, they love that picture. That's the picture that they use for promotion.
Yep, the one on the back. This is original artwork. If they ever release, somebody please release a Blu-ray or a 4K for this, please. 4K might be pushing it. I'll take a Blu-ray. I mean, this artwork that they did, it's fantastic, right? Look at that. You have Jesse, of course, in the front. You have all the band members. You have our Elsa, our little murderess that's there. Our
little hitchhiker.
You have a piece of the little person zombie monster.
Oh, yeah! Oh.
See him? I didn't open this, and I'm never going to. But that's how much of a fan I am. This thing was expensive, and it sold out like within days. So
it's beautiful, though.
Yeah, there's a market for Hard Rock Zombies. I just don't think people are being very forthcoming like me, that I like it so much. There's a fellow YouTuber and friend of mine and fan of the movie that had told me that there's a company that he knows of that said they were working on it because they found some kind of master that they can actually use to really clean it up. So I haven't found anything on it, but I'm stoked. I hope that I don't care who releases it. To me, I feel like this is Vinegar Syndrome. I'm telling you, this movie, Ryan, is so. I think if you haven't seen it, I hate to say YouTube. I wish there was a place to go watch it. And you know what I mean? But there's a really terrible version on YouTube that I would say don't watch it because Ryan, if you did not, I had to tell you some stuff, right? Like
definitely. I mean, it could have been because at some points I was talking, but there were parts that were unaudible, unfortunately. But you could totally tell it's just because of the music and the quality of the video itself. That probably the VHS is probably even 10 times better than what's on now on YouTube. But it's I'm glad people upload these things so they don't get lost. But oh man, this has been, holy crap, an adventure.
Yep.
I feel like you need to rest probably until Thanksgiving. Maybe you need to go into hibernation. I want you to get back your strength. I mean, you just died.
I've seen the other side and I've been back.
On that note, where can the lovely people find you normally, Geof, when you're not hanging out over here?
If I'm not hanging out here with you, my friend, I'm usually at the Gcap Recap, just without the Gcap Recap on YouTube. Gcap Recap. Gcap Recap on YouTube. Gcap Recap on Instagram. I have a Twitter account too, but I'm mainly on Instagram. I like Instagram. Instagram's my favorite of all of them, even YouTube. I like Instagram the best. It's fun.
I agree.
I can actually talk to people like my good friend Ryan here and others. So God bless you if you stayed through this entire review. But if you did, I mean, we might have
very loyal 4-hour fans, so I have no doubt.
Yeah. People watch our 4-hour live streams. God bless them, man. God bless them.
Definitely.
But I would say, you know, us saying it is one thing. If you go back and watch, I know Ryan's probably going to put little clips throughout this whole thing. But
I will.
We did not ruin anything. Go watch it. You're going to be like, what the hell?
You're still going to be shocked. And I mean that in a good way.
You got to see it. Nothing's been ruined. If you don't see it with your naked eye, forget it.
It's true. Does it even exist if you didn't see it yourself? Please check out his channel, the Gcap Recap. I will have a link for it. He's back with season 2 currently, and the fun will not stop. Jeff and I will be probably doing we're going to be doing a few more live streams with, for any wrestling fans out there. And matter of fact, we end up talking about non-wrestling things as well. So,
it's wrestling, but then it always kind of takes a weird turn. We'll start talking about something and we answer questions and interact. And that's probably the most fun thing I do on YouTube is talking with, you know what I mean? When we talk to everybody, I think that's always a lot of fun. So.
We got Vince McMahon as well, so you know what? He came through today, so thank you, Mr. McMahon.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
Oh, maybe it's
McMahon. Vince? Pal?
Oh, man, you know what? I think it's for the best that you don't even know what happened. Let's pretend it was all a bad dream. Matter of fact, when you wake up, this was just all a Halloween nightmare.
I'll check the rerun to see what happened, but... We have the Vince McMahon episode coming up. We have what else? Thanksgiving special.
Thanksgiving special, and I'm sure there will be a Christmas something coming on as well somewhere along the line. So just keep an eye out on the Instagrams for both Jeff and the Radical Retro Rewind. Happy Halloween, Jeff. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you too, Radical Ryan, and happy Halloween to all of you out there watching. Eat lots of candy. Drink lots of spiked punch. Just get wrecked. But stay safe though when you do it.
That's right. Check that candy. Make sure there's no needles and razor blades inside those poison apples.
That's right. Yeah, and if you go party at like any party, just take an Uber. It's cheap.
And don't pick up any hitchhikers. I think that's a good way to...
Yeah. Don't go any lakes with them either. And make sure do not enter a body of water with your back to it. I mean, who does that?
And don't get taken underwater and turn into blood.
Yeah. And whatever you do, I don't care how hot she is, do not go stay with a stranger's family, especially when they look like Scotty.
Screaming grandmother's locked up.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a primal scream therapy. She's a werewolf. You ever hear someone screaming, they're a werewolf. Just FYI. Let this movie be your guide, your survival guide.
With that, you better have a happy Halloween, everybody out there. We hope that we could brighten your holiday. And please stay tuned to both channels for more radical recap and fun.
Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll see you.
Happy Halloween. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Ryan.
My God, Jeff. I didn't want you to come back like this. That's too much cardio for one person to do. Too much.
Oh my god, please keep that line in there. That was good. Oh, that was funny, Ryan. You legit made me like lose it. I was like, he's not gonna say anything else. I got it. That's way too much cardio.